Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Nomadic Survival with me, Quantum Chief. In the last video, obviously we built this vehicle, our grinding rover, to go over to the loot and mine up a load of resources. So yeah, if you watched the last video, you've seen we got all of this cool stuff. Now, in that video I asked for some name suggestions for what this vehicle should be called, because currently all it is called is the... not even that, because that's the wrong bit. I think I called it like the grinder rover or something, so, you know. Wow, did I just not name this thing or something? Yeah, there you go, grinder rover. So I asked you guys to give me some name suggestions, and I got a couple of different suggestions. And the one I'm going to go with is from a person called, and sorry if I butcher your name, the Mr. Shanigami. Shanigami? I don't know, I'm way too dyslexic for names. But yeah, they said that they were going to suggest tortoise as a name, but then the arm looked like an elephant, so they suggested Nellie. And I like Nellie. I think that's a fun idea, so I'm going to call it Nellie. Nellie. So there you go. Our grinding rover is now called Nellie. And in today's video, what I want to be able to do is I want to build a vehicle that can actually tow Nellie. So I'm thinking about building something along this sort of size. So this is the width here of how wide it actually needs to be in order to be able to pick up the thing. So I'm thinking about making some kind of 10 by 10. So this would be the front pointing this direction. So we'll have a sort of cockpit, cabin area, some storage, and then a big flatbed, which I may make a mechanism where it can sort of either angle down or track down to make it easier to be able to drive up. Something like that. And yeah, so that's kind of my plan. So it's using 5x5 wheels. I can't decide if I want to make it one block wide, like to make it wider or not. I'm kind of thinking that could be cool, because I always build, I think, too narrow. So doing oh hello. So doing something a little bit more like that could be a little bit better. But that's why I started recording, because I was going to build this off camera. But then I was like, I always build stuff off camera, or I always do something like a time-lapse. So for this video, all I want to do is a bit of building. I want to talk through some of the processes and just, yeah. I want to have a chill time building. Because I realised is that too wide? Is that too wide? I don't think that's too wide. But yeah, this is generally how I build stuff. I hum and ha at myself for ages about stuff like this. So, throughout this video, I'm going to be talking over certain parts to try and explain my thought process as I'm building this vehicle. As I spent quite a long time with it, I spent a lot of it just sort of recording and not really speaking, so to make things make sense, yeah, I'm just going to butt in here and there, so don't mind me. All of the wheels. Oh. Okay, good. Okay. So it was about here where I realised, due to the length of this vehicle, it was going to be quite difficult to keep all the wheels in contact all the time if you're going over any kind of rough terrain. So this is where I started to think, is a custom suspension, or at least having bits of the wheels which can pivot a bit more, is that going to help this whole wheelbase be better? So that's what I started to experiment with. Let's just see how it works if I add What's the worst that can happen? Okay, so you'll see I built a type of rocker suspension to the front wheels. The main aim for this is, of course, to try and make sure that the wheels are in contact with the ground at all times. So this is me here just testing it out to see how it works, see if I like it or not. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yep, there's a reason why I really love custom suspension, and this is one of them. There you go, that's less rocking already. Pretty good. It's pretty damn good already. Like that. Alright, so another thing I decided to do, as well as having the front wheels be on this a pivot, is I decided to allow the whole chassis from the front wheels to the back wheels to be able to twist. Just to try and help with, again, ground contact, and you'll see here in this little test, it actually was quite successful. There you go, the whole thing can now tilt. So if I'm going down a hole, it can just get, you know, more ground clearance. Well, not ground clearance, it's just better. Knowing what's happening with the terrain, just trying to conform to the terrain a bit better. There you go. Yeah, I like that. Looks... Right, so now that the chassis is at a state where I'm happy with it, it's time to move on to the front cabin of the vehicle. And that's always difficult, because that kind of sets you off for what the vehicle is going to look like. So I went through lots of different stages of trying different things. I looked at a lot of different photos to try and work out what I wanted to do. Do I want to do something Russian, like a military truck, like I've done before? Do I want to do something very sci-fi, or do I want to do something in between? To cut the story short, I'm only going to show you what I actually ended up doing, because if I didn't, you would be here for another 47 hours. So, yeah. We had to design the... well, you can see here I went with a different... or simple design of having two cockpits on either side, and then it was a game of trying to figure out how to hook up all of the hydrogen tanks for storage, because I want to power this thing on engines to give it power, because it's the easiest way to power things. It was just a lot of work, but we got there in the end. Right now, just don't fall over. Okay, so this is a lot of hydrogen. So, we've got just tanks dotted absolutely everywhere across this bit, and it's just one layer thick. We're going to do the same on the other side. And we might do another layer. I haven't actually fully decided whether I want to do that or not. I kind of think I don't want to, just because then I can sort of cover this over a little bit and add a little bit of shape to the vehicle. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't fully decided yet. And here we get to the final part I need to design of this vehicle, which arguably is the most important part. This is the actual mechanism to allow me to carry the vehicle. You know, the entire purpose of this vehicle. So, you'll see, obviously here I'm grinding down the current Orbit design I tried. It didn't work, so I was trying something new. So then I ended up doing some research into how in real life they actually do it. It was actually quite interesting. The type of car ramp I'm actually designing is one where the actual flatbed which holds the vehicle is what lifts up and moves down the vehicle. Or moves down to the ground to pick up the vehicle. And it's quite a simple design, but I think I overcomplicated it. It works off basically a rail, and then the actual floor where the vehicle gets parked on is on that rail, and that is free to slide, and then the rail is connected to a pivot at the back of the vehicle which can tilt up and down. So in the end, actually really simple. It took me a little while to work out how to build it. You know how things go. Do that, do that. Okay. That's not too bad. So like I said, this type of car ramp requires two main components. It requires the frame, which is what you just saw me build them, and then it requires the actual flatbed, which I'm about to start building now, just to help you understand what I'm actually doing. That's not too bad. Okay, then extend this piston. Okay. ideally you really want it to be as far, the pistons to be as far back as possible. So all of this will obviously be automatically done. What if we share a nurse tensor in all of these? Make it a little bit more, hopefully, solid. Can that make you feel a bit happier? A little bit. Perfect. Groups, reverse. Right. Critical. So this is the vehicle I've built so far. So it can... It's got a piston somewhere in the midst of here. I haven't set up a thing on it quite yet. Got that like that. And then if I set up the piston in and out and I get that to reverse. So that can go down. And then if I decrease... Okay, so now it's touching the ground. So would I be able to drive up a vehicle like this onto it? Whoa. That was close. Okay.
Fuel critical.
Okay. Now, does this drive? Yeah, it drives. Okay. Well, this is design 1. We can work from this. Okay? We can learn from our mistakes and we can do it better. However, I have now spent the past 4 days building this thing at a couple, well, not even a couple of hours, like half an hour increments, because the British weather has been so warm. So if you have not seen a video for the last week, that is why. However, I think this thing looks pretty cool. Yeah? I think this thing looks pretty cool. And thumbnail has been complete. Well, so this was a different format of video. I wanted to show you the full sort of build, or how I build a vehicle like this. To be honest, this kind of build was a little bit out of my comfort zone. I was employing a lot of methods I don't usually try and do too much. But overall, I think the vehicle actually has come out alright. Let me know what you guys think. But as always, my name's been Quantum Chief, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!